Hi everyone. In this video I'll be talking about my thoughts on the Girls' Planet final lineup. I'll first go through some of my negative opinions and thoughts and get that out of the way before I get to what I think of the girls who made the team and my overall thoughts. This video will not be completely negative, but I do have some things I didn't like, so I will be talking about them. It also will include my positive thoughts and opinions, and I will not be hating on any of the girls who made the lineup. Anyways, let's get started with the video. So my biggest negative is that Bora didn't make the team. She's the one person who could have served as kep1er's main vocal and would have also been a great leader. She was also my second pick after shouting. To be honest, out of the remaining trainees, and even among a majority of the eliminated ones, I feel she is the most talented and underrated all-rounder. This is in no way a slight towards any of the trainees because they are all incredibly talented. First of all, Borah is the best vocalist in the entire show. She's probably one of the best vocalists in K-pop right now. I'd say she's on the same level as some of K-pop's greatest vocalists. Dayeon, IU, Wendy, Solar, Jihyo, etc. She may not be as good as them yet, but she's definitely close. In terms of dancing, she's not great, but she's not bad. I think she's a perfectly suitable idol dancer. She has great energy and facials and can dance pretty well. We all know that she's also has a lot of potential in rapping and writing lyrics as well. Lastly, she's a really great leader. She was the leader for every group she was in except for the finale group. She always does such a great job encouraging the members and leading the group. I really feel it's such a shame that she didn't make it. It's also so sad that out of the K-trainees, she was the only one who wasn't in the top 9 or nominated for 9th place. Another of the biggest upsets for me is that Yurina didn't make it. She ranked in the top 9 consecutively and placed 1st and 2nd previously. This brings me to the topic of foreign trainees and how they handled it. Having people vote for at least one person per country and then taking it away in the finals did not accurately show what the potential lineup would be like. Also, having the Korean votes count for 50% and international only 50% is a big reason why so few international trainees made the lineup. Considering this is supposed to be a global lineup and the trainees were evenly split between K, J, and C, I think the voting should have been 25% Korean, 25% Japanese, 25% Chinese, and 25% international. If they were going to do one pick for the finale, this is the only way to have made it fair for international trainees. Not just Yurina, but Ruiqi, who placed within the top 10 consecutively, didn't make it. Also, all the J and C trainees ranked in the last 3 places, even though all 3 of them had ranked in the top half of the top 9 for most of the show. Unfortunately, despite claiming to be a global group, kep1er isn't even as global as Twice. My last bone to pick is the fact that they introduced the concept of the Planet Pass but didn't use it. To be honest, I thought this was an easy way to make sure the final lineup covered all the bases in terms of vocals, visuals, variety, etc., whatever the team was lacking. I think it's a shame they didn't use this, especially when a lot of trainees who were almost expected to be in the top 9 didn't make it. Considering the show started from a pool of 99 girls, I think it would be fair to have a final lineup of 12, with the Planet Passes being one person per country. This also would have increased the globalness of the group. For K, I would have chosen Bora because she would fill in any vocal gaps and also potentially be a rapper and/or leader. For J, I would have chosen Yurina because she's extremely popular and I think really deserved to debut. For C, I would have chosen Wen J because she fills in the gaps for variety. Wen J was also my third pick and I'm really sad she didn't make it. If it had not been Wen J though, I would have chosen Ruiqi because she was almost always second among C trainees if I remember correctly. I have split feelings about this. On the one hand, this result is kind of upsetting considering she has not dropped out of the top 2 since live voting began. I feel like if the voting was either more internationally influenced or having one pick per country, Shouting would definitely have placed first. She's my top pick and it's really sad to see the only C trainee to make it place so low. On the other hand, I am so happy to see her in the final lineup. As my top pick and the only one of my top 3 to make it, I'm really happy to see her here. I think she'd be the perfect center for the group. She fits girl crush, sexy, dark, pretty, moving, and cute concepts, so whatever the group ends up being like, I think she'd be perfect. I know it's unlikely to have a Chinese person as the center in a Korean group, but there is truly no one who fits center as much as she does. I'm really happy that Mashiro made it. She's a great vocalist but an even better dancer. I think her dancing is really underrated among fans, so I'm taking this time to acknowledge her and her lead dancer potential. She's also a great leader as it's been shown through the show, and I think it's between her and Yoon for that role. Either way, she was in my top 9, so I was happy about this. She wasn't in my top 9, but I knew she would make it in the final lineup. I think she'd be a great main rapper for the group and honestly really necessary to make kep1er a more well-rounded group. Yeseo was in my top 9, so I'm really glad she made it. She's super talented and really deserves this. She's also such a good maknae. Yoon wasn't in my top 9, but I really like her. She's a true all-rounder. Dance, rap, and vocals. I'm really glad she's in this lineup because it really needed someone with her vocal skills and other talents.
Look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me.
Dayeon wasn't in my final top 9, but she was in my top 9 before that, and I'm really glad she made it. She's really talented and I think she fits in with the group really well. Ah, Yoon. I love her so much. I'm so happy she made it. I was hoping if shouting wasn't first, Yoon would be, but third is fine. I'm just so happy she'll be debuting again, and I just can't say anything more about how happy I am that she made the lineup. She's definitely my bias wrecker. Okay, so the controversial pick. To be honest, compared to some of the other trainees, I would not have put Bahee in the top 9. The only reason to be upset about her being in the group is because someone like Yurina or Bora wasn't able to join the group because of it. Still, I honestly think Bahee makes sense in this group. She's grown a lot on me. I think she'll fit in well and has the potential to improve a lot. She may not be as skilled as the other members yet, but she's trained for so little time and shows potential in dancing and singing, so I think she'll be a really good addition to the team. Even over the course of the show she has improved. I've noticed her dancing has become more detailed and balanced. She's also improved in singing, which showed in the shoot performance for the creation mission. It's no doubt that she'll improve a lot during her time in kep1er. Chaehyun wasn't in my top 9, but I do like her. I think she potentially fits the role of the main vocal well, and I'm really glad to see her debuting. Her vocals in the Myah combination mission performance were just so beautiful. I don't think she has center potential though. I think it's between Yoojin, Yeseo, and Shouting for that position. Even though this is essentially Produce 2.0, I don't think first place has to become the center. They never explicitly said that on the show. They didn't even use the word center, and instead used killing part as an attempt to differentiate this show from Produce. Still, I think Chaehyun will serve as a great vocalist for this group. Overall, I liked this lineup. Ideally, it would have had more international members. But, after mourning the fact that people like Bora, Yurina, and Wen Jae didn't make it, I've realized I really like this group. I don't dislike any of them, and I'm really excited for them to debut and to find out what their concept will be. I've already started making some "How would kep1er sing X" videos because I'm really excited for their debut. Also, this is me announcing that Shouting is pretty much an ULT of mine. Since IZ*ONE disbanded, I think kep1er will become an ULT group. IZ*ONE is still an ULT of mine, but since I only have 2 active 4th gen ULTs, I think kep1er would be pretty much a third. Especially since Shouting is an ULT now. Also, I'll continue to make more videos about kep1er in the future, so stay tuned for that and subscribe to see them. Be sure to comment too if you want me to make any specific videos about kep1er. Lastly, I'd just like to say that I really enjoyed watching this show. Although, I think that's more to do with how much I loved the girls over the style and setup of the show. Every performance was so fun to watch. I do wish though that they hadn't had so many large eliminations, because a lot of the girls didn't get to shine before being eliminated. I also am a fan of the global group concept, but like people have said in other videos, the concept of separating the girls has a lot of questionable undertones. It's also clear that Mnet favored the K trainees in the show, giving them more screen time. The C trainees had a lot of evil editing, although some may be deserved. And the J trainees had very little screen time. As I said before, I don't like how they suddenly switched up the voting for the finale. I also don't like how they introduced the Planet Pass just to not use it in the finale. I thought the U mission before the third elimination was stupid. I didn't like how in the finale the 2 teams performed different parts of the same song and competed for the last third of it rather than performing 2 separate songs. Anyways, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching.